Okay, so Aloha Cupcakes. In one of my last videos, I was talking about doing the thing. And it's important that you go do the thing, but you need to set some sort of goals and some sort of a strategy in order to do it. And we're going to talk about that today. First, we're going to talk about a 30, 60, 90 plan. Now, it sounds complicated, right? So what you take, this is going to be your plan over 30, 60, and then 90 days for you to make your plan to your goal. Hey, look, I spelled it right this time. You didn't see the other clips. There's been a lot of times where I keep trying to spell it with an A first. So, what we're going to do is we're going to set up this 30, 60, 90. So, what is our goal? Our goal needs to be the big thing that you want to do, whatever that thing is. For me, I would like to actually film something like this with correct lighting, with all of, make sure that my follow focus works, make sure that my secondary camera is collecting all of this that's going on here, and then be able to edit it into a cohesive video. Now, that takes a little bit of work, right? I had to take some classes. So in my first 30 days, I already knew that I had classes that I needed to take. Which brings me to this notion. When you are going to set up your 30, 60, 90 plan, what you should be doing is creating what's called a SMART goal. And I'm going to butcher this. So your first thing needs to be specific. So whatever that goal is, whatever that thing that you're trying to do is, it needs to be very specific. So you can't just say, I'm going to get better at something. No. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create a video. Right? You don't have to create a video. That's not what I'm getting at. But that's going to be our first part. Our specific goal at the end of this is now to create that video. Okay, what's going to be now the next step of this is to make something that is measurable. Measurable. Did I spell that right? Whatever. So this is one of those things. This is where we get to things like take classes. So take a class. Get the gear. These are all things that are tangible. These are things that you can for sure say, I did it. Okay? Now the next part about this is it needs to be attainable. I feel like I got that one right. So in my case, for example, let's say that get the gear is my thing. Well, yes, there are cameras out there that can be used for this. There's tons and tons of them. Let's say that I need to get a camera. Well, let's say that my budget's whatever, $500. I'm probably not going to buy a $10,000 camera. That makes that now unattainable. So it needs to be something that fits in your spectrum of, say, budget, resources, and all that other stuff. Make it something that you can do. So for me, I don't know, those knowledge share things are usually free, so all right, I didn't do so well on the spelling. Then I could take online classes. What is going on here? Whatever. You know what I meant, okay? Whatever. And then there's the magic of, now I'm not going to tell you where to get whatever equipment you need. Just, some things are in the same day delivery. Whatever your resource is, add your resource. For me, Amazon's the one that delivers best here in Carson City, Nevada. So, whatever. So now, relevant. Your goal needs to be relevant. So it needs to make sense. Now, your specific goal might not make sense, but whatever your measurable goals, these pieces here are, they need to be relevant. So they need to make sense. They need to be something that is going to actually help this versus something that's just spinning your gears. Like, I don't know, I could spend a whole bunch of time studying how to do follow focus. Or I could sit and watch movies to get a better idea of how people do cinematography. I mean, that's still actually part of the class, but you get what I mean. It's kind of a waste of time, and we don't need to be doing that nearly as much. So it needs to be something that's relevant. So the follow focus thing is probably a thing that's relevant. Learning how to do that. Because right now, hopefully I'm in focus. This is something that I've worked on. Okay, so relevant. Now the last one is that it's something that is time-based. Okay, so each component of your 30, 60, 90 plan needs to fit within the parameters of those 30, 60, and 90. It can also be something as simple as creating a daily goal. Like, I'm going to spend 20 minutes working on, say, focus, or taking an editing class. There are literally thousands of classes about video editing, and they're boring. So, if you can just quantify that to 1 a day, that's a 1, by the way, that's not lay day. But if I can quantify it down to 1 a day, this is something that I can continually work on throughout the progress of my 30, 60, 90. This should be everything that you need. Now, here comes the fun one. So, we've created our SMART goals. We understand what a goal is, okay? So, let's talk about, for this video, there's a lot involved in creating a video, right? But let's say that I need to start with my 30, my 60, and then 90. So my first things are going to be get set up, take the class, right? Take class. And I'm writing funny because I'm writing on top of my elbow. Let's set out my gear. Now that we've done all of that, in that 60s days, now it needs to be to film it, possibly edit, and these are going to be practices. So I'm going to spend probably 30 days filming, practicing, working on it, honing it, getting better with it. Whatever the thing is that you're doing, I guarantee you're going to have to practice. But before you can practice it, you need to know this is the time frame I have to practice, and you need to quantify it for yourself. 30 days is a very solid amount of time to practice something, though for some of you it may be 5, it may be 70 days. It depends on how quickly you are adapting to what you're trying to do. But the thing is, you need to be able to practice it, and at the end of that practice, you need to be able to produce something better. Doesn't matter what, okay? So let's say that we've made a video. It's not the inevitable video that we're trying to work towards. It is just a thing, whatever that thing is. Even if it's not, it's a side project, whatever. So if you're building something, if you're constructing something, if you're going to do some sort of an art form, your rough drafts, your first attempts, this is that time frame for that. You need to have whatever that thing is, create a couple of them. And expect that they're going to be janky. They're not going to look right. They're going to be messy, they're going to be sloppy, and probably not going to be what you're trying to work towards. Now in that last 90 days, everything that you've done so far, you've learned how to do your stuff, you've got all your equipment ready, you've done your first version of it, these are your rough drafts, you've done it. It is time to spend the next 30 days doing the thing. Now, I know that sounds silly, right? You're going to spend 30 days doing what is inevitably going to be your final whatever. Here's the thing about this one. You're probably going to do this more than once. You're probably going to have to make, produce, and create multiples. Let's see if I can get this one right. Also in the comments, can you let me know if you can read any of this? I know I'm a terrible sign painter. I'm very good at doing script writing, but block lettering, no, horrible. So I'm assuming my penmanship is garbage, just so you know. You know what, maybe my 30, 60, 90 should be better at handwriting and or sign painting. I think that's a solid goal. You know what, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. As soon as I'm done doing the car shows, I'm gonna set up a 30, 60, 90, and I'm gonna work on my lettering. That's all I'm going to do. Work on my lettering. I like it. Let's do this. Stick with me on this one. I will tell you all about my progress, but you get to tell me all about yours. Now, here's the fun thing about this part here. This doing the things multiple times. This is where you need to be posting your progress. This is the this is where you need to be accountable to what you're trying to do. This is where you go and you post your photos, I mean, honestly, post all of it. But here's the fun part. Over here in this area, you can start being social about this one, but believe me, you're going to get a lot of support, but it's going to be frustrating support. Like, it's going to be that you can do this. I believe in you. It's not going to come with the criticism that you're going to be needing in this 60-day period here. You're going to need a little bit of that. Okay, me evaluation. We'll use that, okay? This is where you get to take a lot of introspective looks and see if you're doing it. So maybe the posting doesn't need to be so much there. This needs to be on you. Now, in the 90 days, post things. Post it all. This is where we are. I'm getting closer. We're almost to that point. And at the end of that 90 days, right there, it should be time for you to hit your goal. It should be time that you are done, you are ready. Whatever the thing is that you're trying to do should be polished. It should be created. It should be well cultivated, and it should be absolutely freaking flawless. Or at least the best delivery you can put on it. If you're crocheting something, spell my name right. If you're gonna sculpt something, make me less chubby. Whatever it is that you're gonna go create it. And by all means, if this helps you, if this is something that is assisting with your construct of this thing, please tag me in it. Share it with me. Send it to my emails, my socials, whatever, because I struggle with whether or not I'm actually good enough to be doing this. Like, not just this, just everything that I do, I struggle with whether or not I am actually doing a good job at it. So I need to hear back from you. Are we good so far? There's probably going to be questions. I'm guaranteeing that I missed at least half of the information that probably should be in this spiel. I haven't done this in a couple of years because it's just not my job anymore. So in the comments, anything that you do not understand, please let me know. Till then, wait for it. Stay moist, my friends.